All right, welcome everybody to day 2 of the WTA finals and the final of Paris. Auger-Aliassime taking on Sinner. If FAA wins, he is qualified for Turin, which means next week means nothing really for the men because everybody's qualified. If he loses, it comes down to next week where he has to make, I think, the semi-finals or something like that, and Musetti has to win the title. So, yeah. It's going to be very interesting if that happens. But Sinner has looked unstoppable all week, hasn't really been tested at all. And then we've got Sabalenka versus Paolini, 1 versus 8. So by ranking, the best player versus the lowest ranked player. But that could be interesting too, because we did see yesterday that the ranking might not matter in this tournament too much. And then, of course, we've got Gauff versus Pegula, which is coming up after Sabalenka and Paolini. So that is the schedule. Oh, pardon me. Also, Boko won today. She won a title in Hong Kong. And I think there's a match going on at the moment. Chen and Birrell. Chen won the first set against Birrell. And she's trying to win a title in Chennai. So, yeah, WTA is almost done on the at least for the regular season. But here we are. Let's see if FAA can push Sinner. I don't know if he'll beat him, but a push Sinner would be interesting. And Sinner's obviously trying to win Paris for the first time. What's going on? Is it possible that he keeps the number 1 ranking if he wins today through the ATP finals? No. If he wins today, so if he wins today, he's back to number 1. But the points for Turin drop off tomorrow as well. So even though in the live rankings overnight, I'm guessing this, because overnight he'll be number 1 in the live rankings, but tomorrow before the rankings come out, they take off all the points for Turin. At least that's what they did for the women's rankings. So I don't know if he technically will be number 1 until he'll have to win Turin. I think that's how it works, right? Like tomorrow, all the points from the ATP finals get dropped off. So even though he might be more points after this match, when the rankings come out tomorrow, he will lose 1,500 points or whatever. So it won't make a difference. I think that's how it works. Because I read somewhere that even if he wins this title, he won't be number 1 seed in Turin because he will drop all those points. So, yeah, like I said, he'll be number 1 in the live rankings, but I don't know if that's going to be... I don't know if... It just depends if the points drop off tomorrow or next week for Turin. I'm pretty sure they drop off tomorrow because on the women's side, they dropped off last week, on Monday last week. Because they can't drop off next Monday because that's the tournament already starts. It has to be this week. I think that they always drop off the week before. At least that's what I can remember. Maybe. Again. But we'll see. So yeah, so Sinner will be number 1 in the live rankings until tomorrow morning when the rankings update and drop the Turin points, and he'll lose points, and then he'll be number 2 again. Yeah, so in the live rankings, he'll be number 1. But that's not the official rankings. That's just the live rankings are not officially until, again, unless the points don't drop off. But yeah, that's because I'm pretty sure they do. I did read he won't be number 1 for a week unless the points don't drop off until next week. But I swear I read somewhere like a week ago saying that even if Sinner does become does win Paris, he won't be number 1 in Turin because he will lose points before Turin, which will push him down number 2. So he won't be the number 1 seed. So he won't be unless, again, it just depends. It just depends, right? If Turin's points drop off tomorrow, he won't be number 1. If it drops off next week, he'll be number 1 for a week. And then whatever happens next week. Who cares? A lot of people, because they're asking, why are you here? Alcaraz and Sinner are top 2 anyways. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It won't really matter who's number 1 or 2 anyway going into Turin, because both have to play, both avoid each other anyway. Drop-off date is 17th. But you're looking at the live rankings website. I'm looking at the same thing, but I don't think that's how it works. It drops off tomorrow. See, Gene would know. See, but you're doing what I'm doing. I looked at the live rankings website too, and it says 17th they drop off, but the 17th is after the ATP finals. They again, I'm very sure they drop off tomorrow. So even if he does win this match, he'll be number 2 tomorrow because he loses points from last year's ATP finals. I mean, the easy thing is what happened last year. Let me just check. Last year, when was it? When was the ATP finals last year? What date were the ATP finals last year? So last year, the ATP finals were on the 10th. Let me have a look. We'll be able to clarify this pretty quickly. So last year, they were on the 10th of November. So when did the points drop off? So it says here they dropped off on the 11th. And maybe if they don't drop off tomorrow, then he'll be number 1 for a week. But again, I read somewhere from a reliable source. I can't remember exactly what it said, but I'm sure it said doesn't matter if Sinner wins this title or not. Because of the Turin points, he won't be number 1 seed. He can be number 1 at the end of the year, but he just can't be the number 1 seed in Turin because he loses points. I thought it dropped off tomorrow too because the end of the year is tomorrow technically because ATP finals start on Sunday. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, because they can't drop off on the day 2 of the tournament, and then they can't change the rankings. So and last week, like I said, Monday this week, the WTA rankings took away all the points from Turin or from Riyadh. And I know they're different things, but the ATP website's saying he will be number 1 he will reclaim number 1 if he wins. Can you send me that? Or link me that on Twitter or something? Turin seeds are based on the race to the finals, not the rankings. Are they? So wait, what does that mean? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Here we go. So this is, okay, so here's the situation. From what I'm reading from you guys. So if he wins this, he's number 2 in the race to the finals, which means Alcaraz number one in the race to the finals. But he will be number 1 in the rankings. That's so confusing. That is so confusing. So he can't be number 1 seed because it's based on race to the finals. That makes sense. That must have been what I was reading. So he'll be number 1. So Alcaraz will be number 1 going to Turin seed. Sinner will be number 2. But going into Turin, if Sinner wins this, he'll be number 1 ranked. Alcaraz will be number 2. Try explaining that to anybody. That is, how do you explain that to anybody? People are going to be so, oh God, that's going to be a shit show. That's so confusing. But then tomorrow, but that's the thing, right? So tomorrow, though, does the race to the finals point, does that turn into the rankings tomorrow? That's the question. Do they, but then again, if the ATP website is saying that, hey, of the ATP is saying, hey, he's going to be number 1 in the world tomorrow if he wins, they wouldn't get their own rules wrong. So, yeah, that's, oh man, that's so confusing. So he might be number 1, but he won't be the number 1 seed. Just wait until the draw comes out if that happens. And Alcaraz gets an easy draw. Imagine. Alcaraz gets like Sinner gets like Djokovic, Fritz or whatever, and like he gets like the worst draw. It's going to be like, well, if he was number one, oh, God, I don't even want to know. It's going to be a shit show. Okay, so that kind of, does it make sense, everybody? Does that kind of make sense? Because that also does make sense why next week is relevant for the top 8, because the WTA this week didn't matter. Otherwise, we would have seen Andreeva play, right? She would have played in Hong Kong for the points, but that's so annoying. I reckon the ATP need to fix that, because that's what. But how the hell is that going to work then? If Musetti has to win in Athens, and then what? Be in Turin on Sunday? But then how do they do the draw? So wait, they do the draw going, oh, well, it could be Auger-Aliassime or Musetti? Like, they have to, like, go, oh, well, this person could be this or this. Like, how are they going to do the draw? It's going to be weird. I guess we'll find. He's got to win this first, though, Sinner. If FAA wins, it's so much more easier to understand. So maybe Felix should... we need Felix to win to make it easier. And then next week doesn't even matter. Man, oh man. Oh, next year. Oh, thank you, Emily. So Emily just said that next year they're changing it. Paris won't count next year. Okay, good. It's too confusing. Also, making players play the last, like, before the week between is, like, to try and qualify is crazy. All right. Anyways, everybody's on court. Sabalenka, Paolini. They're about to start warming up. FAA and Sinner are warming up as we speak. Then we've got Gauff versus Pegula. Sinner can get Fritz and Djokovic. He will beat them anyway. Okay. Alcaraz will be number 1 seed at the ATP Finals, but Sinner will be the number 1 in the live rankings, and then Sinner needs to defend to stay number 1 before Alcaraz loses before the final. Okay, yeah. Well, that'll be interesting. It's just getting there that's really complicated. Cheering for FAA now. Okay. Will Djokovic play the ATP Finals? He is supposed to be at this stage, yeah. He is, yeah. He's on the list. He hasn't withdrawn yet. And I don't think he will withdraw. I don't think he will. I think he withdrew last year, and but I also think maybe this year he knows that it could be his last ATP Finals, so maybe he wants to play one more time. But also, like, everything he's been saying, Djokovic, the last couple of weeks or months, he's been saying that, maybe I should play more 3-setter matches because I need to play Sinner and Alcaraz on a 3-set match, because then I can actually try different things rather than just playing them like this year where he's just played them at the slams, and then by the time he gets there, he's tired and he doesn't have, he can't try anything new. So I think playing Turin would be a great opportunity for him to actually do those things, right? Hey, thank you, S. Why the ATP Finals not played on an average surface? Hardcourt is meant to be an average surface. What, you want to play on clay? Like, what? What do you mean average surface? They're played on a medium hardcourt. That's as average as it gets. So be in Athens and Turin by assumption. Wait. He said play in my final tournament of the year. Oh, he said tournaments. Oh, okay. But yeah, Djokovic play next week. I guess the thing is, if Djokovic, if he doesn't look good or he gets injured next week, then he definitely won't be playing in Turin if he's not 100%. But he hasn't pulled out yet, and this time last year, I think he qualified, and then about a week later, he withdrew. Djokovic playing in Athens. Norway only plays Grand Slams from now. Well, he's playing at 250 next week, and he played at 250 in Geneva, and he's played plenty of 250s. So he doesn't only play Grand Slams. That is false. Maybe he only cares about Grand Slams, but that's a different. That's totally different. There we go. Players are ready to go. All right. Here we go. I have no idea who's serving, but we'll find out very soon. Commentator said that ATP Finals points will drop off next week. As in, what week is next week? Drop off on the 4th of November or on the 11th? Like next week is in tomorrow, or next week is in the week after? When's next week? What are they? Did they give you a date? All right, Sinner's gonna start returning serve. 1 second, Jeff. All right, Felix to serve. I'm going to go Sinner and straights. I think it'll be close, though. I think we might get a tie break. Is it a backhand rally? And Felix hits a wide. And it's 15. Love 15. Love 15. Thank you guys for the donation again. Well, Rafa's not playing anymore, so you don't have to worry about Rafa playing the ATP Finals. Love 15. As we do a good serve from Felix, 15-0. As FAA serves again. Zverev's ankle wasn't... Yesterday, he didn't have... His ankle apparently blew up like a balloon and was really, really bad. So hopefully he can recover for next week. FAA... Yes, a 30-15. I think Zverev will be fine for next week. Well, I think he'll play next week. Whether or not he plays the entire tournament, but I think he'll definitely show up and play his first match. He does have Davis Cup though afterwards, so there is that as well. It's the finale event. It should give everyone a fair shot. It doesn't have to be clay. Yeah, but I don't know where you're coming from, because it is fair. Like, how do you make it fair? I don't understand. Felix is out 30-0. Like, it's a medium-paced hard court. It's as middle of the road as you can get. Like, I don't know how you make it. Like, obvious. Like, if you got like, oh well, Rafa never won and it wasn't fair for Rafa, that was a different time. These days, it's slower. It's more even. Like, and if you won the French Open, but then you didn't win anything else outside of clay, that's not. You can't accommodate to that person. Like, if you're a clay courter, you can't help anybody. Like, you can't help that person, because then the other 7 are going to be... You got to, I mean... Anyway, it's 30-40. Yeah, give us a solution. Like, if it's on clay, that's not fair. You can't have a clay court finals. That's not fair. It's not fair for anyone outside of Sinner, Alcaraz, and Zverev. Is it a backhand into the forehand of Djokovic? Forehand of Felix. Felix is out. One love. And you can't have it on grass either. You have to have it on a medium pace fast court, a hard court, and it is. Also, it's actually very fair because it's also inside, so you don't have to deal with the sun, the wind, the weather, the rain, the heat, the cold. Like, it's climatized. Like, you don't have to deal with, even the conditions are super fair, like even for everybody. Everybody gets to deal with the exact same conditions on the men's side. I mean, we saw what happened in Cancun on the women's side. If you can't play in the wind, you're not gonna get a game. So, like, it's literally like they can't make it any more fair than it is right now. It's as fair as the ATP finals are going to get. They're playing on a hard court that is not too fast, not too slow, and it's inside. It's as good as it's going to get. By the way, people that are bitching about me not watching this match yet, it's one love. Relax. 30-all, by the way. Sabalenka first game. As the return goes in the backhand of Sabalenka. Paolini in the net. 40-30. By the way, Jannik Sinner in the house. Sabalenka 40-30. All right, 40-30. Sabalenka serves again. As the return goes out by Paolini, it's one love Sabalenka as Sinner serves 30-15. $30-15 as we serve again. From Sinner as a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Felix. Sinner forehand again, the forehand of Felix. Sinner gets the point, 40-15. FAA in the net. All right, 40-15. Sinner serves again. Coco said that the women's tour is more exciting than the men's tour. What do you think? 100% agree. 100% agree. I've been saying that for weeks. She said, when I heard that, I swear I said those same words 2 days ago. Like, I've been saying that for months about how it's great for Sinner and Alcaraz, but for the tour, ATP, to have two players that are dominating is not good. And it's a little too predictable. Whereas on the women's side, she said the exact same thing. Two love Sinner, by the way. So I 100% agree with Coco. 100%. That the quarterfinals and semifinals are not predictable, and not as interesting on the men's side because it's predictable. Most of the time. Not every time. Obviously, there's upsets, but Coco is 100%. 100% agree with her. 15 love. Like, every word she said, I was like, that is word for word what I've been saying for months. 15-30 as Sabalenka tries to break first games. Hey, Valerie, thank you for the 16 months. And if Sinner wins this in straight sets, this is proof of what Coco was saying, that it's Sinner and Alcaraz. And yeah, Alcaraz lost this week and it was a shock, but Sinner hasn't even looked like losing. He hasn't even looked like losing a set. So if there's no Alcaraz, then Sinner cruises, right? And you go, okay. And vice versa, when there's no Sinner for Alcaraz to play, Alcaraz does pretty well for the most part, right? He's made the final every single time except for this week. Between Miami and here, he's made the final every time. You know, that's like... So Coco was 100% right. WTA is way more interesting. I mean, this is the two top 10 players playing, but right now it doesn't look close. 400 rally. As the backhand for Felix goes wide, and it's 15-30. Also, Sabalenka's at a break point, 30-40. 30-40. As Paolini serves. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. What a return winner. All right. Sabalenka's come to play. 2-love. This would be a really interesting... I don't feel like we're talking enough about Sabalenka this week. We've been talking about Anisimova. We're talking about, Raducanu's form, right? I feel like Sabalenka's kind of getting overlooked, even though she's probably the favorite because she's literally the number one player in the world. Like, she might come out here and be like, okay, you guys talk about Raducanu and Anisimova. You talk about them. And Sabalenka might just come out here and just go, you know what? I'm going to win. She's got a good group too, Sabalenka. The other group is harder. Maybe not with Keys if Keys is injured, but we saw that yesterday with Anisimova going down badly to Raducanu. I mean, that group's going to be a lot harder to get through. Sabalenka should finish top 2. I mean, she should win this match. She should beat Pegula because she has a good record against both. And then against Gauff, it's a 50-50. But by that point, she might not even have to beat Gauff. She might have already qualified if she gets to that match. All right, 30-all. FAA trying to get on the board. Into the backhand from Sinner to the forehand of Felix. Forehand from Sinner. Into the forehand of Felix. Sinner with the backhand. Into the forehand of Felix. Again, the forehand of Sinner. Felix backhand again. Into the forehand of Sinner. And Sinner puts it wide. 40-30. Women's tennis has been better for the last 10 years. A whole generation couldn't beat the big 3, and now they can't beat the big 2. Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it too. At least personally. For me, I watching the big 3 was amazing, but it was very much like there's 3 guys that are going to win, and if that doesn't happen, it would be a freaking miracle, but there's 3 guys that are going to win. Now there's 2 guys that are going to win, and if it doesn't happen, it would be a freaking miracle, right? So it does feel like men's tennis over the last, we could literally name all the players that won a slam that weren't those 5 guys, right? There's only 10 of them. There's only 10 times that those guys around that, Medvedev, Team, Stan, Murray, Delpo, Cilic. Is that it? I think it's happened back in 2005. All right. It's been like that for so long. 2-1 Sinner with the break. But on the women's side, they've had so many champions. And that's during the Serena dominance, Still plenty of champions. Same for any sport, is it though? I mean, maybe Premier League, you can pay for the players to make your team better, and maybe NBA, maybe team sports, but I don't know about individual sports. Team sports, you can pay for players. That's different. All right, Sabalenka to go to 3-love. As a return from Paolini goes long. 3-love Sabalenka. She takes the lead. Who do you think will win the next Australian Open? I don't know. Ask me in 2 months. Ask me in January. If Sinner and Alcaraz win all the majors for the next 5 years, would you say that they are more dominant than the big 3, or because there's only 2 of them? No, I mean, they'll be just as dominant. It'll be the same. It doesn't matter if there's 2 or 3, they're still going to be just as dominant. All right, 2-1 Sinner. There's a bit of backhand rally. Sinner backhand again, the backhand of Auger-Aliassime, and Sinner with a forehand. FAA backhand again, the backhand of Sinner. Into the backhand of FAA. Sinner backhand again, the backhand of FAA. And Sinner with a forehand into the forehand of Felix. Into the forehand of Sinner as Felix backhand goes down the middle. Sinner gets it back. Felix forehand again to the backhand of Sinner. As Felix with another backhand. Into the backhand of Sinner. Felix with the forehand. Into the Sinner forehand as Felix hits backhand cross court. Sinner hits a cross court backhand winner. What an angle. 15 love. All right, 15 love. The game should get rid of deuce and advantage and go to sudden death, but get rid of tie breaks and make it win by 2. I like the first part, but I don't know about every set being win by 2 games. That'll be too much, I think. But I like the eliminate the deuce. That will definitely cause upsets. that stuff. That would make things go crazy. What's my favorite time of year? Favorite time of the calendar as a fan? I do like June, July, like that sort of French Open into Wimbledon, like the lead up into French, like Rome into Roland Garros, and then into Wimbledon. Like I do like that. I think that's probably the best part. And also I like March. I like Indian Wells and Miami. Indian Wells. And then watching Miami after that. Even Indian Wells, Indian Wells to Monte Carlo is nice. It's cool. Yeah. All right, backhand goes in the forehand of FAA. Backhand again from Sinner. Felix backhand in the net. 40 love. All right, 40 love. Sinner serves again. Return goes back into Sinner. 4-0 from Felix. Goes wide, and it's 3-1 Sinner. All right. Paolini's on the board. 3-1. Sabalenka with a break. Sinner 3-1. Also with the break. Okay. 3-1. Pardon me. Felix to serve. As Felix serves. The return goes into the forehand of Felix. Forehand from Sinner. Into the backhand of Felix. The Sinner backhand. Into the backhand of Auger-Aliassime. And then Sinner backhand down the line goes out. 15 love. Sabalenka. She has a 3-1 lead and 15 love. Who's going to retire sooner, Djokovic or Wawrinka? Good question. They'll probably retire the same year. Whenever that is. In the net by Sabalenka, 15-0. As that goes in from Sinner off a bit of a shank. He says sorry, but he'll take the point. 15-0. And then Sabalenka serves an ace. And it's 30-15. Sabalenka. Hey, what's up, Ruth? You look fresh, not tired. Well, that's good because I feel tired. And then a backhand into the forehand of Paolini, and then Paolini forehand goes down the line and wide, 40-15. Felix, 40-15, good serve. Love the Halloween filters the other day, so much fun. Thank you. I enjoyed it too. All right, 30-15. So 30-15 Felix. Sabalenka gets 4-1 with a good serve. All right, Felix comes to net. Up goes a lob by Sinner. Felix with a smash. Sinner gets it back. Felix with a drop shot in the net. 30-all. A chance for Sinner to get the double break here. 30-all. All. As FAA serves again. Fault. Second serve. As the return goes to forehand to Felix. Sinner backhand. Goes wide. 40-30. 40-30. Wake up the dog, always sleeping. She's tired. It's 1 a.m. Leave her alone. Anyways, Sinner hits it out. Felix holds. 3-2 Sinner with a break. Sinner number 1 is not important. Come on. Come on. Don't be doing that. Don't do that. Oh, we don't. The Sinner fans don't care, and neither does Sinner about number 1. He doesn't care. Doesn't matter if he's number 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. Don't do that. Don't pretend like you don't care. It does matter. Number 1 matters. Being number 1, year-end number 1 for Sinner is, even if he doesn't say so, it's definitely on his mind. For sure. Don't pretend like, oh, we don't need that anyway. Okay, so then when he does get to number 1, I don't want to see any celebrations. I want everybody who's like, oh, it doesn't matter. If he gets to number 1, I don't want anyone to say, yes, we did it. I want you all to be like, cool, whatever, man. Happy Merry Christmas. See you next year. I don't want to see any celebrating. No congratulating. No excitement. Come on, it does matter. Of course it matters. Getting to number 1 tonight probably doesn't matter. Being number 1 by the end of the year, 100% matters for Jannik Sinner. It's a huge achievement. Considering he didn't even play for 3 months. That's even crazier. That's even crazier if he gets there with 3 months less tennis. That's crazy. That's even more impressive. All right. I know he said like, oh, it's not... But of course he's going to say that. Well, he's going to come out here and be like, no, I'm going to be number 1. Because then if he doesn't, everyone's going to clown on him. So, of course he's going to say, oh, I don't care about that. It's so he doesn't feel shit if he doesn't get it. But of course it matters. Of course he wants it. He's just not going to say it out loud. So don't pretend like you don't want it as a fan. Come on. Good lob by Sinner. Up goes a lob by FAA. That's out. 15-love. And it'll be a hell of an achievement if he does do it. Like I said, 3 less months of tennis and he gets to number 1 as well. That's crazy. That's so impressive. 4-2. Sabalenka. She has the break. All right, back in Sabalenka's a winner. 15-love. 15-love. Now Sinner serves again. Serving the backhand Felix. Backhand from Sinner to the backhand Felix. Sinner backhand into the forehand of FAA. Who puts away the winner? 15-0. Where do you think Draper would have been in the rankings if he didn't get injured? Probably top 6. Maybe 5 or 6. Like middle of the top 10. If he didn't get injured. I think he probably would have been, well, maybe top 5. Yeah, maybe 5. Yeah, probably 5. I mean, he probably overtakes, Djokovic at number 5 because Djokovic didn't play much. Yeah, I'd probably put him at number 5. All right, 30-15. Nice hitting from Sinner. 30-15 on both courts. As with a forehand rally, Sabalenka. Oh, can't get that one. Paolini with a lovely forehand winner. 30-all. As with a forehand from Sinner. Into the forehand of Felix. Sinner, forehand down the line. Felix is with the backhand. Into the backhand of Sinner. Felix with a slice. Sinner forehand again. Down the line. That's a great shot. Felix gets it. Cross court, the forehand of Sinner. Now Felix the backhand on the stretch. Sinner forehand again. The backhand of Felix, who hits a slice. Into the forehand of Sinner. Great angles by Sinner. And Felix hits it wide. Sinner, the thing with Sinner is that he is hitting with so much spin tonight. And so much angle. Like, it's not so much that he's like hitting the ball through Felix and being like hitting the ball hard. He's just making FAA move because of the angles. Like, there were some crazy angles. Making FAA stretch. Like, it wasn't the power. It was like just those especially maybe it's the camera angle too. You can just see how much more loop his ground strokes have. Like, they're going high over the net, but they're going like short in the court and going off to the sides, and they're going, he's not hitting it necessarily flat and hard, but it's still so effective. 4-2 Sinner. Breakback point for Paolini, but Sabalenka survives. Deuce. Yeah, he's making FAA run a lot, but it's not because of the power. It's because of the angles. They're like super impressive. Super awkward as well. Like, Felix is having to hit some really awkward shots. All right, Sabalenka trying to keep the break. As with a slice from Paolini. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. Paolini forehand. There's Sabalenka in the net. Advantage Paolini to get back on serve. Ace from Felix, 15-love. Break point again for Paolini to get back on serve. 7 to the backhand of Paolini. Backhand for Sabalenka. Goes long. We're back on serve. All right. Paolini breaks back. By the way, I'm liking Paolini's outfit. It feels very like an upgrade from... Like, it does feel like, oh, this is the WTA Finals, and like it's got like a different level of like fanciness to it. It's a little bit shiny. It feels like, like it's an upgrade from every other tournament. It's not just a regular, what is it? Is it ASICS? A6? It's definitely an upgrade. Didn't she wear the same thing? Didn't she wear something similar at the US Open? Or no, not Wimbledon. I swear that was, or maybe the French. Definitely feels like she's wearing an outfit that's worthy of the top 8. Best of the best. It's not just like, oh, I wore the same thing last week. For sure, an upgrade. 40-love. As Felix looks to hold. Was this at the US Open night session? I thought so. And it was fancy then as well, because obviously that's a Grand Slam, and Grand Slams are obviously different. All right. 40-love Felix. As with a fault, second serve. Chen wins in Chennai. Nice. So Mboko and Chen winning today. As that goes out by Sinner, and it's 4-3. Sinner with a break, but Felix holds. All right. 4-3. 4-3 on both courts. All right, back on serve for Paolini. She serves. Back on Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets it out. 15-love. Sorry, but being number one doesn't mean that he's better player overall. Just sometimes better luck during year. I get what you're saying. But if Sinner becomes number one, I don't know. Like, with 3 months less tennis than Carlos, I don't know how you say that he's not the best on the... Like, I think that Alcaraz is a better player overall, if that's what you're saying. I agree with that. That's obvious. When they play each other, that's why he wins, because he's got more weapons. He's got better, he's got better shots, overall. But for Sinner to be number one after having not playing for 3 months is crazy. Like, how does that happen when Alcaraz was played the whole time? Like, that's like super impressive if he does get back to number one. Like, that's insane. But yeah, like, side by side, I mean, this has always been the case with these guys, right? It was only lately that we were saying, like, oh, well, now Alcaraz is consistent and he's got the better game. He's never going to lose. And then he lost. But Sinner's more consistent. He consistently wins, right? And I know Alcaraz made 9 finals in a row or whatever. Alcaraz's level is better when he's playing his best, though. And this has been the story forever. It was only until recently that we thought, oh, now Alcaraz is consistent with that level. Now it's Alcaraz is the best. But if Sinner somehow becomes number one, having a 3-month break, it wasn't like Alcaraz didn't play during that time. He played Monte Carlo. He played Indian Wells, Miami. He played Madrid. He played Doha, right? I mean, Alcaraz played all those events. And Sinner still got more points than him? How does that even happen? Like, that's incredible. That he took 3 months off and he still has more points than Alcaraz, who made 9 finals in a row, or whatever it was, 8 finals in a row. That's crazy from Sinner. Like, that's it. Super impressive. Because what happens if he had to play those 3 months? Then Sinner might not have ever lost number one ranking. Maybe Alcaraz would have been number 2 still to right now if Sinner had played. Because I think Sinner would have won Miami, and maybe he might have won Monte Carlo or Madrid. He could have won one of those too. So he could have even won Indian Wells. I mean, or Doha, right? I mean, Sinner after the Australian Open, we were all thinking he was going to win Doha until he got banned. But like Sinner could have been number one for the entire year had he not had that 3 months off. All right, 40-30. But I get what you're saying. Well, I think Alcaraz's tennis at his peak is better. But Sinner's obviously got consistency. All right, 40-30. Sabalenka gets backhand. Winner down the line. We get the deuce. There's a backhander for Felix and the backhand of Sinner. Felix forehand. Into the forehand of Sinner. Felix at the backhand cross court. Sinner's going to get there. Felix at the backhand down the line. Good shot. Sinner's got it though with a forehand down the line. Now Felix in trouble with a slice. Sinner forehand cross court. Felix gets it. Sinner forehand drop shot. Winner. That's been working this week. He's been practicing that this week and it's been working. All right, 40-love. $40-love. 40-love. An advantage Sabalenka to get the break and serve the set. Serving to the backhand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets it out. And we're back to deuce. And Sabalenka's starting to get frustrated at missing these shots. All right. Sinner holds. 5-3. 5-3. Also, don't call it a 3-month break. It's shameful. 3-month ban. That should have been 2 years. Okay. So why... I'm guessing you're not a fan of Sinner, so why are you watching him play tennis? It's kind of strange. I think 3 months was enough. If it had been 3 to 6 months was what I thought. Anything more than 6 months I would have thought was a bit overkill. But we don't need to, we've been through this. We went through this for like a whole year. All right, 5-3. I guess people can't be fans of Felix. No, nobody can be. How dare you? No one's allowed to like FAA. How dare you? 15 love. Are you a fan of Felix? Like, actually? Or are you a fan of somebody else and you're here in secret? You're a spy. You're an Alcaraz fan scouting out Sinner's abilities. All right, I love 15 love. As Felix tries to stay in the set. 15 love. Sabalenka also has the break. And she's going to serve for the set. 5-3. I'm going to serve now. And Paolini wins a point, love 15. All right. That's Felix missing the point, 15-all. Man, that's a shame from Felix. He was at the net and he hit the smash and got Sinner back in the point and then sprayed the forehand. Love 30 here for Paolini. Chance to get back on serve straight away. Mboko MVP this year. Yeah, Mboko definitely wins a WTA award for like newcomer of the year or whatever. She has been amazing. 15-all. Sabalenka serves an ace out wide, 15-30. There's Felix 30-15. 30-15. All right, Sabalenka with another ace, 30-all. As we get a let from Felix. Watching the Mboko match right now. Thanks for ruining it. Bro, don't come in here and expect us not to talk about matches that happened 3 hours ago. Come on. You can't put that on the chat for saying they ruined it. Come on. Don't come in here. That's crazy. That's not on us. That's not on us. You shouldn't. Don't go on social media if you don't want to get spoiled. Like, literally. You go to Twitter, they would have said you would have seen it anyway. Don't put that on us. It happened like 6 hours ago. Come on. Don't go on social media unless it gets spoiled. You know, you go on Instagram, would have told you as well. So just come on now. That's not on us. Of course, we're going to talk about things that happened. Cam ruined it. I didn't do shit. It was the chat that did it. You'll blame the chat. Thanks, guys, for ruining it. Exactly. I didn't say anything. I didn't even bring it up. Somebody else did. 30-all. All right. FAA trying to hold. All right, as we serve from Sabalenka as an ace and its advantage and set point for Sabalenka. All right, backhand return goes to the forehand of Felix. Forehand from Sinner. As Felix backhand. The backhand of Sinner to the forehand of Felix. Sinner forehand into the net. 40-30. Advantage Sabalenka. Set point. She serves an ace out wide. Sabalenka serve. Aces to end the set. And it is 1 set to her.
Cameron, can you say basics again?
What? Thank you for the $10. Or $6. But thank you, Valerie, for the 16 months. Appreciate that too. 40-30 Felix. Sabalenka 7 aces in that set. But they both hit a lot of errors in that first set, unfortunately. As Felix comes to the net, Sinner hits a passing shot long, and it's 5-4. Sinner's going to serve the set. Hey, Brent, thanks for the 26 months as well as a Tier 2 member. All right. So FAA got a time violation because, he was taking too much time between points and between serves. Hey, thank you, Fly, for the 34 months. By the way, chat, I watched Hereditary. It wasn't as crazy as I expected. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was pretty creepy. But I don't know. It was all right. I wasn't like super freaked out by it though. Maybe I missed something. Actually, no, there was one part in particular that happened that I was like, "What the hell was that?" Like that shocked me. If you've watched it, you know what I'm saying. No. This is Hereditary. It came out in like 2016. There was that moment in the middle of the. Was it scary? I mean, it was creepy. There was only one like shocking thing that happened that I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah, the post. Oh, that was brutal. That was brutal. Like that was like, what the hell? But yeah, I wasn't as like shook as I was when I watched something like Insidious, or Sinister. It's Christmas movie time. I'm still watching horror stuff. Got to catch up. All right. Sinner 7 for the set. All right, the crowd are clapping and clapping. I've got a fault from Sinner, second serve. Oh, probably. Backhand goes to forward of Felix. Sinner backhand, the backhand of Felix. And the backhand of Sinner. It's Felix backhand again, the backhand of Sinner. Sinner in the net, love 15. Paolini, by the way, down love 30. Sorry, 15-30. All right, 15-30. As Paolini. Sorry, Sinner with an ace, 15-0. Paolini trying to hold, but it's 30-40. Breakpoint Sabalenka, first game of the second. Now the groups of the ATP finals aren't out yet. They come out on... Didn't they come out on Friday? Maybe on Friday? They come out next week, at the end of the week. End of next week. All right, 30-40. Breakpoint for Sabalenka, first game of the second. 7 to the back of Sabalenka, 4 from Paolini. And Sabalenka forehand again, the forehand of Paolini, who puts it in the net. One love, Sabalenka. Takes the break. Sinner forehand to the forehand of Felix. Sinner forehand again. Cross-court winner. Too good. 30-15. All right, 30-15. 30-15. Sinner serves again. Now wide the backhand of Auger-Aliassime, and Aliassime hits it long, and it's 40-15. 40-15. Set points for Sinner. How many more tournaments for the rest of the year? So next week, well, for the rest of this week is WTA Finals, and also we're going to watch Djokovic in Greece. And then the week after that, it's only the ATP Finals, and then it's Davis Cup. So there's only 5 tournaments left for the year. After today, is it a 4-1 winner by Sinner? There is the first set. 6-4. All right. And then there's also the Next Gen Finals in December, which is an official ATP event. So what did I say? 5? There's 6 more events. 6 more. All right, Sabalenka with a set and a break. She serves a fault. Second serve. By the way, not a pretty set by either guy. 7 winners FAA, 12 errors, 8 winners and 9 errors by Sinner. As Sabalenka hits an error in the net. It's going around, 15-30. It's crazy the Australian Open's 2 months away. That is pretty crazy. Chad, would you be happy with no tennis in November, December? Like if the ATP and WTA finals finished yesterday or today, if today was the finals, would you be like, no tennis for 2 months would be a good thing? Or like, I don't think it would be the worst thing. Obviously, as a tennis fan, fanatic and freak, we would be probably craving it by December, but I don't know. 2 months of no tennis feels like it's at least some sort of an off season. At least tennis, we can switch off for at least 2 months. That would probably be more than enough, at least for fans. All right, break points for Paolini, 15-40. As we get it. Most of the players do have 2 months off, right? The players that even won today in Hong Kong and Chennai and stuff, they don't play for 2 more months. So they get 2 months. Everybody who played in Paris and not playing for the rest of the year, they get 2 months. It's just the ATP and WTA finals and Davis Cup players that have to play extra. So there are 2 months off. It's just not for the fans. Fans don't get 2 months off. All right, 30-40. Paolini trying to get this break back. As Paolini with a forehand, Sabalenka gets it back. Forehand again, Paolini. Why does my screen keep freezing? What's going on? We get the deuce. All right, Paolini can't break. All right, FAA serving first in the second. 2 months off without tennis, then you would be like Sinner, refreshed, lol. Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be the worst thing to have that time off. Every other sport has multiple months off, a year. Love 15. And Sabalenka holds 2 love. And to the left from FA. I like Andy Roddick's idea where it's like the ATP and WTA finals happen in October. And then after that, you can have like 250 events and all that stuff if you want. But the season ends, pretty much. The season ends in October with the WTA and ATP finals. And then you have all those 250 events that other players can play if they want. So there is still tennis on, but it's not like must watch, mandatory tennis, right? It's 250s where, you can watch if you want, but it's also not required to play by big players. There's no requirement. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to play. There's a backhand now from Felix into the backhand of Sinner. Forehand from Felix into the forehand of Sinner as Felix forehand again. Sinner backhand goes long. It's 15-all. All right, Sabalenka. She is trying to get that double break. All right, love 30 Sabalenka. As Pellini serves. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand from Pellini. As Sabalenka backhand into the net. And it's 15-30. 30-15. Talk to Me takes place in Australia. Unique horoscope. Yeah, I've got that on my list. That's on my next watch list. Talk to Me. Also, I've got to watch... what else do I have to watch? There's a lot of movies I have to watch. All right, 15-30. That goes in by Sabalenka, 30-all. But yeah, Talk to Me is on the list for sure. All right, 30-all. Pellini serves. Into the backhand, Sabalenka. Forehand to Pellini. Goes long. Sabalenka with a chance for a double break. 30-40. Also FAA 30-all. He serves a fault. Second serve. There's a return out of the forehand of Felix. Backhand over Sinner. Into the forehand of Felix. Felix hits it long. 30-40. 30-40. As Sabalenka hits it long on the return, and we get to deuce. There's nobody watching Welcome to Dairy. That's definitely on my list of things to watch too. I'm going to wait until they all come out, and then I'll watch it in one big, full sitting. Anyways, Felix with a good serve, and he gets a deuce. Can you explain the WTA Finals, how they match this? Do players give 100% right away on the first? There is no elimination, correct? Yeah, players, everyone wants to win the first match for sure. Because if you lose the first match, then you have to win the next two. But if you win the first two matches, then you don't always have to win the third match to qualify. So, yeah, everybody puts the 100% in the first match. For sure. Nobody wants to be, doing the math and trying to figure out how many games I have to win or how many sets I have to win. Or, it's just everyone needs to win that first match to get off to a good start. Everyone's definitely trying to take the first match. Sinner hits a lovely forehand winner. Advantage Sinner. Sabalenka backhand goes in the backhand of Pellini. But Pellini hits it out and we get the deuce. As a return from Felix. So from Sinner goes wide. Good body serve by Auger-Aliassime. We go back to deuce. All right, advantage. Pellini. And then we get back to deuce. Sabalenka does not want to give Paolini a game. All right, FAA serves. In the back into Sinner, forehand from Felix. Again, in the back into Sinner. Sinner hits wide, and it's advantage Auger-Aliassime. Advantage FAA. And it serves an ace. All right, FAA takes the lead. One love in the second. Sabalenka still wants that double break. As we serve by Paolini. To the back of the Sabalenka. Paolini backhand. A Sabalenka slice. Into the back of Paolini. A Sabalenka slice again. Into the forehand of Paolini. Sabalenka goes down the line. Paolini, she hesitated. And she got to the ball late and hit it wide. And it's advantage Sabalenka for the double break. By the way, Sinner's serving today, insane. He is serving ridiculous. Can be you going on a proper holiday away from streaming tennis screens and us? I mean, I'm not going away. There are things in December and stuff that we'll probably watch, maybe. But I'm not going to be doing much unless there's something important that happens. You know, someone announces retirement or somebody, like something happens, right? And we've got to get everyone up to speed. But yeah, Sabalenka double break, 3-love. But there's not much going on, so there's not much to do. We'll do the Tennis Talk Awards as well at some point before Christmas. But yeah, because the season starts in the new year, which is lovely. Last year it started the day after Christmas, and I was like, I got no time off. It felt like it was just like such a build up to Christmas, and then all of a sudden it was back to streams. But we get a week after Christmas this year, so we start in the new year. So we don't have any tennis until like the 3rd, which is nice to get the extra week, 30-15. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going away anywhere, or maybe I will. I don't have, I don't have plans to at this stage. All right, 30-15. But there are things that we'll do in the off season. A couple of things that we do. So it won't be totally 100%, but I'm hoping not to do too much work. All right, Sinner to serve. (40-15). There's a bit of fault, second serve. I thought you wanted to go to Japan. There's a lot of things that I want to do, but also can't afford to do. 40-15. As a forehand return into the forehand of Sinner. Forehand from Felix. Into the forehand of Sinner. It's Felix backhand. Into the backhand of Sinner. Felix with a forehand down the line. Sinner with a slice in the net. And Felix wins a point. 40-30. There's a lot of things that I need to do in like the, what do you call it? Like I need to do like a lot of like admin. So there's a lot of like off-stream stuff that I need to do. So there's never nothing to do. But staying up all night watching matches, I won't have to do much. I don't even know if the World Tennis League's coming back. Do we have to do? Is that coming back? Are they doing that again? Because we'll probably watch that maybe. Sinner holds 1-0. Because we do that every year, and that's pretty fun. By the time we get to that point in the year, it's going to be like we're going to be craving tennis. We're going to be hanging for tennis. So like, if they got World Tennis League comes back, we'll be probably watching that in. I don't know if it's been announced though. Is it coming back? Has it been announced? I can't tell. Because that would be good if it did, because that at least gives us something to do. All right. 15 love, Felix. Because Alcaraz and Sinner are not playing until until the Australian Open. Anyways, 4 love Sabalenka. I'm just having a look here to see if there's any announcements. It doesn't seem like there's any announcements for 2026 World Tennis League. Oh no, they do have. Maybe it's not a thing this year. Which would be a shame. 30 love. It says here 22nd of December on a Sunday. Is that a thing? No, maybe they don't have it. Maybe it's not happening this year. Maybe there is no World Tennis League in 2026 or 2025. World Tennis League always feels slightly amateurish. Yeah, I mean, but I feel like they've improved every year. Like it's slowly getting becoming more established, but it doesn't. I haven't heard anything about it, so yeah, I don't think it's happening. On their socials, it doesn't seem like they're advertising who's playing and who's coming to the tournament, which they do every year. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess they're not doing it, which sucks because that means we're just going to have to wait until the new year to watch tennis. No tennis, pre-Christmas tennis. Anyways, 40-15. As Palini looks to get on the board. With a fault, second serve. Palini serves an ace. All right. 4-1. Palini on the board. And FAA leads the second 2-1. Hey, Barami's in the house. He's just chilling. All right. Exhibitions not making any money. Labour Cup are losing money. Saudis are only people who can afford it. Yeah, maybe that's why. I mean, 3 years. Yeah, I don't feel like it was a good event. But it feels like the WTL is not coming back. But then again, maybe it is coming back and we just haven't heard anything yet. Let me have a look. What's their Twitter telling me? think they're coming back. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. All right, 15 love. Oh, well. Anyways, 4-1 Sabalenka with a double break. 15 love. So Pegula and Gauff come on straight after this match. So stay tuned. Is it a backhand for Felix? Goes long and it's 30 love. There will be a World Tennis Continental Cup in Shenzhen, China, 26th to 28th of December. Will there? 40 love Sinner. Okay. Interesting. Sinner holds 2-0. Do they have the announcements? What does it say here? 3 days, 10 matches, 2 teams, 8 players. Team Europe versus Team World. Okay. And it's got ATP and WTA players on each team. Day 1 is 2 singles matches. Day 2 is 2 singles matches, a singles match and a mixed doubles. And then day 3 is 3 singles matches and a mixed doubles. Interesting. Well, there you go. That's what we're going to do after Christmas. But who's playing? Do we know? That's cool. I actually don't mind that. It's kind of like it's a joint Labour Cup, a Labour Cup. That's fun. Oh, here we go. So you've got Team World is Rublev, Raducanu, Wong, and Zhang. And then on Team Europe, you've got Bencic, Swiatek, Kaboli, and Feast. All right, that's fun. That's a fun lineup. Means Raducanu and Swiatek are going to play. At least that match, that match will be interesting. It's cool. 15 love Felix. Sort of forehand from Sinner to the forehand of FA8. Sinner with a slice down the line. Felix backhand to the backhand of Sinner to the backhand of Felix. Backhand of Sinner again. Into the backhand of Felix. Sinner backhand again as Felix goes again to the backhand of Sinner into the forehand of Felix. Now Sinner with a forehand down the line. Felix runs around into forehand again, but it goes long on his forehand, 15-0. All right, Sabalenka in a little trouble here. All right, deuce for Sabalenka. All right, Felix serves a fault. Second serve is Sabalenka serves an ace. Whew, advantage Sabalenka. All right, return from Sinner to the forehand of Felix. Felix to wide, 15-30. All right, Sinner so Felix serves again. Pounds Paolini hits out in the return. 5-1 Sabalenka in the second. As Felix serves a fault second serve. So return goes back to Felix. Sinner backhand. Again, the backhand to Felix. Sinner backhand again. The backhand to Felix, who goes down the line to the forehand to Sinner. Backhand to Felix again. Sinner again to the forehand to Felix. A Sinner forehand again. Down the line. Felix backhand goes cross court. Sinner gets it back. Into the backhand to Felix. Sinner backhand down the line. Felix says with the forehand cross court. It's a winner. 30-all. 30-all. All right, 30-all. Felix needs to hold. He serves an ace. All right, 40-30. $40-30. $40-30 as Felix serves again. A fault, second serve. Raonic, best Canadian. False. Andrescu. 40-30. False. Daniel Nestor. Daniel Nestor's the best Canadian. Anyways, Sinner hits it in the net. It's 3-2. Felix stays in front. Daniel Nestor. I think he's the only Canadian player in the Hall of Fame. All right. Most on here, just ignore. Ignore what? Carlos Fonseca are playing in Miami? That is true. My dog is sleeping, yes. All right, we get the deuce. Paolini trying to stay in this match. Super humid today. It was raining, but it's 35 degrees. Terrible weather. Okay. Paolini trying to stay in the match. As Sabalenka returns into the forehand of Paolini off the tape. Goes long. Match point Sabalenka. Sabalenka just too strong. Advantage Sabalenka to get the win. So far, this WTA Finals, it's been very... Besides the surprising Raducanu result, by the way, I'm sick of these phones. People with their phones. Nobody can see that, sir. Get a bigger sign. You need to make it out of cardboard. Anyways, forehand goes in the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand from Paolini. Down the line of the forehand of Sabalenka. Paolini can't get it. Sabalenka wins. Besides Raducanu beating Anisimova, which was a bit of a surprise how easy it was, every match has been very straightforward. And Sabalenka just too strong for Paolini. And I think we knew that Paolini was going to struggle against Sabalenka. I think out of all the players, it's probably the worst matchup for her, but she can still beat Pegula and possibly Gauff. I mean, she can beat Gauff. We've seen that this year. So Paolini's not quite out of it yet, but that was pretty straightforward for Sabalenka. All right, Sinner, he's set to the good as he hits a forehand winner. It's 30-love. All right. By the way, Chad, if you want to keep watching the Sinner FAA match, jump on over. We're going to merge the streams for a bit. But don't worry, we do have the second match between Gauff and Pegula, which I think is, definitely a much closer rivalry if you've seen their head-to-head and their matchups recently. It's a bit of forehand rally. Forehand now from Felix down the line. Too good. 30-15. And Felix with a big yell as well. But jump on over if you want to keep watching. But Sabalenka wins. 6-3, 6-1. Gets off to a great start in the Steffi Graf group. Okay. Felix getting a little loud. He's yelling. 30-15. Sinner serves a fault. Second serve. This is why I prefer ATP. Why? Because one match didn't go the distance. 30-0. Chance of Felix here to possibly take the break and lead. All right. As Felix at the backhand, Sinner on the attack. Goes in the forehand of Felix. Forehand of Sinner is a drop shot. And it's too good. And it's 30-0. Sorry, 40-30. Sinner 40-30. Yeah, Raducanu and Swiatek is tomorrow. The schedule's not out yet, but that should be a very interesting matchup. Especially based on that first match for Raducanu's point. All right, return goes back into Sinner. Forehand from Felix. Off the tape. Goes long. 3-0. Sinner holds. Oh, the schedule come out already? So Swiatek Raducanu first and Nissimova Keys second tomorrow. All right, 3-3. Thanks, Ms. North. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Oh, yeah, schedule's out. Thank you for the update. All right. Three. Oh, good return by Sinner. As Felix slices the forehand of Sinner. Backhand from Felix goes wide. And it's love 15. Serve again. To the backhand now from Felix. And the backhand of Sinner. Felix comes down with the volley, but it's not good enough. God, he just walked to the net, Felix. There was no intent. He hit the backhand approach, and then he just kind of like walked, and then the ball got so low to his feet. I mean, if he charged the net a little more, that might have been a better chance at a volley. That was way too casual. Like, why didn't he hit the backhand and like charge? He just walked to the net. Too casual. Way too casual. Love 30. As a return goes to forehand of Felix. And that's a great shot in the corner from Felix. 15-30. 15-30. All right, 15-30. Serve again. Next year we watch more on Boko, Cam said. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to watch on Boko next year. I reckon she could push top 10 next year. Forehand goes long by Felix, and it's 15-40. Yeah, and Boko is definitely on the list for next year. All right. Break points for Sinner. 15-40. She's definitely one of my top faves, yeah. And Valentova. Yeah, we've got to watch Valentova as well. As a return goes in the forehand of Felix. Back in for Sinner. Passing shot goes wide. 30-40. What about on the men's side? Who do we have to watch next year? I don't feel like there's any young players that we have to watch. Where are the young players on the men's side besides Fonseca? Which, of course, we watch. But, like, where's the group of young players on the men's side? I mean, maybe it's, like, Menchik. Maybe it's Tien. Maybe that's all those guys that we know. Maybe it's the players that we already know. Maybe it's not. Like, who are the... I want to watch Baby Federer, though. As Felix survives, gets the deuce. I think next year we're going to try and make an effort to watch Baby Fed. We've got to watch Bernay because he is Baby Federer. I hope he qualifies. Did he? Oh, he lost in qualies. Damn it. He lost to Struff today. Damn it. I was going to say we could watch him this week potentially, but he might get a lucky loser actually because so many players withdrew. He might actually get a lucky loser. Come on, tennis gods. Give the kid a chance. Because, like, so many people pulled out of the tournament this week. Come on. Give him a lucky loser entry. Come on. Come on. We want to see Djokovic versus Baby Federer. Come on. By the way, Vasharoy is 25. He is not a next-gen guy. He is a player that's been playing for a while. He just announced himself this month. But he is not a next gen. He is not a kid. He is like 25. Ace out wide. And we get back to deuce. I forgot his age, yeah. Yeah, some people think that, like, because they've never heard of Vasher, and I hadn't heard of him either. Before Shanghai, it just felt like, oh, well, he must be a new guy. It's like, he is new, but he's not young. Like, he's not like, I mean, he's older than Alcaraz and Sinner. All right, nice hitting there from Felix, and he's just trying to stay in front. Advantage Auger-Aliassime. 5-minute game. Doesn't seem that long. Don't know why they're showing the time. It's not that long. 5 minutes? Advantage FAA. Late bloomer came out of nowhere. Yeah, I think he played college tennis. That's why he's a little bit later than... Like he's starting to play well now. Ace out wide. FAA stays in front. 4-3. All right. 4-3. Okay. All right. Now we have Gauff versus Pegula coming up as well. Very shortly. Tien, Menchik, Fonzie, Atman, Boko, Andreeva, Valentova, all exciting to see in the new year. I think Atman's like in his 20s too, right? I mean, I don't think he's young. I think Atman's more of. I mean, he's more of the. Yeah, he's 23. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's more of the Vachereau type. He's 23. No one said Feast. Well, yeah, Feast is definitely on that list. Yeah. Oh, Vachereau is 27 this month. Holy shit. Okay. Well, there you go. He is definitely not a rookie or a young player. Feast, when healthy, was pushing Carlos to the brink. Yeah, he was in on the clay for sure. All right. By the way, chat, let me know who's your favorite player outside the top 30 on the men's side. Who's your favorite player outside the top 30? Because Fonseca is inside the top 30, so I can't say him. He's 24 in the world, which is actually kind of ridiculous that he's that high ranked. Who said he was overrated? That's a crazy statement now. 24 in the world? Okay. Yeah, who's your favorite player outside the top 30 currently? All right, 15 love. Sinner hits a smash. 30 love. Puricar. Berrettini. Cerundolo. Van der Zandschulp. Tien. Feast. Yeah, is Feast outside the top 30 though? Feast is number 39. He counts. Yeah, Feast might be on my list too. Tien is 38. Mickelson is also another good player at 35 in the world. Tsitsipas 34 in the world. Dimitrov is at 43. Poprin obviously is on my list. 53 in the world. Berrettini's at 63. 40 love Sinner. All right. Sinner backhand. Into the forehand of Felix. Is Sinner backhand again. The forehand of Felix. Felix in the net. 4-all. So the list of the best players under 21 or 21 and under in this order. Menchik, Fonseca, Mickelson, Tien, Feast are the 5 best players that are 21 and under right now. Not a bad list. And then it kind of drops off a bit. And you got Quinn, Block, Buse, who is from Peru, I think. Is that the Peru flag? I think it is. Yeah, Peruvian player. Then you got Prismic, Gubas, who I think is from Lithuania. I'm really keen to see this Norwegian player that everybody's been talking about. That I will figure out how to say his name next year when we watch him. Maybe, if we watch him. All right, 4-all. Yeah, Fonseca's 24 in the world. Love that. Not so far behind Menchik now. All right, 15 love Felix. Important times of the match. Best players under 25. You got Alcaraz, Sinner, Shelton, Musetti, Draper, Runa, Lehechka, Menchik, Kaboli, Fonseca. And the best players over 30. Djokovic, Norrie, Rinderk, Nash, Sonigo, Dimitrov. Interesting. Anyways, 30 love. I'm going to kick off this Coco match in a second. All right, 30 love. As with a fault from FAA, second serve. Serving to the forehand of Sinner, and then Felix in the net, 30-15. Now let's get this Coco match started. Chat, wouldn't it be great if Coco went back-to-back? WTA finals? That'd be kind of sick. Who was the last player to do that? It's been a long time since someone's won back-to-back WTA finals. All right, 30-15. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We've got WTA finals. We're still watching the Paris final as well. Felix trying to stay in this final and stay in front of the second set, but he overhits a forehand. It's 30-all. And then we've got Gauff taking on Pegula, which feels like a very close match on paper. And it should be a very close match because they've played a lot in the past. Serena probably. Yeah, Serena must be the last player to do it. 2012 to 2014. There you go. Serena it is. Feels like that's like the common thing now, isn't it? It's like best since Serena. First player since Serena, right? First player since Serena to do this. First player since Serena to do that. Like it's always since Serena because Serena was the last to do it. So if you do it, it means it's pretty damn good then. It's pretty hard to do because if Serena's doing it, if something Serena, nobody's done since Serena. I mean, 40-30. Felix to stay in front. $40-30. And then an ace. All right. Felix stays in front. 5-4. $5-4. 1 second, chap. All right. 5-4. Felix stays in front, which is exactly what he needs to do. Okay. Do you think Sinner will dominate the AO like Federer did with Wimbledon and Nadal did with these Roland Garros? So I'm going to say one thing, and I feel like this doesn't get spoken about enough. The pressure of the three-peat. Because we've seen it done so often where players have won like 5 in a row, 6 in a row, right? But I feel this year we've watched a lot of players that are going for the three in a row fail, right? Sabalenka in Australia, Alcaraz at Wimbledon, right? As 2 big examples. So even if Sinner can win next year and win 3 in a row, and get over that, because that's not easy, because there's so much pressure on that, because we make it a thing, right? We're like, 3-peat, 3 in a row. We make it a big deal. Alcaraz and Indian Wells as well, yeah, going for the, I don't think Sinner's won 3 tournaments in a row before. So, I feel like we underestimate the pressure of that. We don't give, whenever players are going for that, I mean, Pegula at Canada, right? She had her worst loss in Canada. And she was dominating that tournament for 2 years straight. And she lost like to the lowest ranked player, Simona Halep. So I feel like we gotta acknowledge that next year's Australian Open is going to be tough for Sinner, not just because Alcaraz is getting better, but because he's gone for 3 in a row, and that's a big deal. Now, if he does win next year 3 in a row, then you can go, okay, maybe the Australian Open can be, he can be the most dominant player there since Djokovic, right? Because Djokovic has won the most. He can make it his own, right? But we've got to remember that he is trying to win 3 in a row, and that is tough. I don't remember the last player to three-peat a tournament since Djokovic, probably, right? Like, who's won 3 in a row recently at anything on the men's side? 15-0. Even on the women's side, I think Swiatek winning 4 French Opens and 3 Dohas, I think, and that's about it, right? Sabalenka winning 3 Wuhans over 6 years. Kind of counts. Has Sinner ever gone back-to-back besides Australia? I'm just trying to think. Has he gone back-to-back? because that's another pressure, being the defending champion. He went back-to-back in Australia this year, but did he go back-to-back anywhere else? Davis Cup? Has he gone back-to-back anywhere else in his career? He was banned? Yeah, but I'm talking about... Well, he only won Miami. He was banned, and Miami was the only thing he couldn't defend. But he didn't defend Cincy. He didn't defend the US Open. He might defend the ATP Finals, though. Vienna he defended. Didn't he defend that, right? He won Vienna last year, right? He didn't defend Heller this year. He lost. Anyway, Sinner with a 4-1 winner, 40-15. Rotterdam? I don't know. Did he defend Rotterdam? But he's definitely not won 3 in a row. That's for sure. All right. As we got a backhand Sinner into the forehand of Felix. Forehand from Sinner to the backhand of Felix. Sinner backhand on the stretch. And then Sinner hits it out, 40-30. So he went back-to-back in Australia. He went back-to-back Davis Cup. He almost went back-to-back in Beijing, but he lost to Alcaraz last year. He didn't win Vienna last year. He didn't go back-to-back in Canada. He almost went back-to-back in Miami, but he lost. Sofia Open, he did go back-to-back. He defended the title in 2020 and 2021. That's about it, I think. So Sofia Open, Australian Open, Davis Cup. But he's never gone three for three. We get the deuce. FAA trying to steal the set. So yeah, I think we just got to start like mentioning that. Maybe it doesn't make a difference, but I think it does make a difference. I think going for 3 in a row is a big. There's a lot of pressure on that, right? I know we're used to seeing players do it easily, but I think we need to acknowledge that somebody who's going for a three in a row at the same event, we've got to bring that up as something that might be a pressure, So Sinner might win, the Australian Open. If he wins next year, then I think we can put that to bed. But as FA hits it out and as advantage Sinner. But I think we should acknowledge that next year that Sinner's going in to win 3 in a row. We shouldn't just expect him to win, and that's not going to be in his head a little bit. All right. Advantage Sinner to level the second. As the return goes off the tape and in the net by Felix, and it's 5-all. Sinner holds. 5-5. 5-5. Who else next year is going in to try and win 3 in a row somewhere? Is there anyone going into next year on the men's side that's trying to win 3 in a row? So Sinner at the Australian Open. Alcaraz at the French, right? He's trying to win 3 in a row there. Maybe Sinner winning 3 ATP finals in a row if he wins this year. Anything else on the smallest? 3 Queen's Club for Alcaraz in a row, right? Queen's Club for Alcaraz. 3 in a row, possibly. Fritz at Eastbourne. Yeah, I don't know if Fritz has already won 3 in Eastbourne. He's definitely won 3, but I don't know if it's in a row. Yeah, so yeah, Fritz at Eastbourne I think is back to back. Oh yeah, Alcaraz lost to Queen's Club last year. I thought he lost the year before. My bad. Yeah, so Alcaraz he lost last year to Draper. Sorry, I thought it was the year before. Yeah, so not Alcaraz at the Queen's Club. 30 love. Gauff serving first, by the way. Pegula, love 15. 6 King Slam. Okay. Sinner in Vienna. I don't think Sinner won Vienna last year. Did he? Sinner didn't play Vienna last year. Did he? Didn't Alcaraz play? Who won Vienna last year? Draper. Draper won Vienna last year. 40 love. Felix. Yeah. So there's not many players that will be trying to do that. It's not easy to do. As the backhand return from Sinner goes to the forehand of Felix. Felix puts it away. All right. 6-5 Felix in the second. Also, Gauff is down love 40 first game. This is not a good start by Coco. 6-5 Felix. Sinner's going to serve to stay to take us to a tiebreak. All right, Gauff for the fault second serve. Gauff serves and to the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Gauff. As Pegula backhand to the backhand of Gauff. To the forehand of Pegula. Gauff with the slice. Pegula backhand. Down the line. Gauff gets it back. Into the forehand of Pegula. Gauff forehand again. Into the forehand of Pegula is Gauff. Again with the forehand. Goes in the net. There's the break. 1 love. Pegula breaks. 1 love. All right. Here we go. Sinner's going to serve to take us to a tiebreak in the second set. By the way, we're almost at 500 likes. Also, don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't already, we're almost at 273K. All right. Sinner serving to take us to a second set tiebreak. As he serves into the backhand of Felix. Backhand of Sinner. Into the backhand of Felix. The Sinner with the forehand. Into the backhand of Felix. Again, the forehand of Sinner. Felix slice. Into the forehand of Sinner. Sinner puts it away. 15 love. 15 love. $15 love. Sinner serves again. As the return goes in. Drop shot Sinner. Felix gets it. Sinner with a volley. Lob goes over Felix, who hits a tweener, but it's in the net. And it's 30 love. Good attempt by FAA, but just not quite there. Remember, if Felix doesn't win this match, he will have to play next week. And he will have to make the semi-finals to guarantee his spot. Now, if Musetti loses next week in the first match, then he won't have to do anything. But if Musetti keeps winning next week in Greece, Felix will have to make the semi-finals of Metz. If he makes the semi-finals next week, he will qualify for Turin. So it comes down to the last week of the year if FAA doesn't come back here and win. Love 30, by the way. Coco to get the break back. Love 40. And it's 40 love for Sinner. Then an ace. All right, tie break. Hello? Why isn't it working? I said tie break. All right, 6-0. Can Felix take us to a third? Spagula backhand goes wide. Why is this not working? This stupid machine. See, chat, this is why I need the off season so I can fix it. Because things on the stream are just not running smoothly as I need it to. Anyways, first point goes to Felix. One zero. One zero. One zero. All right, Sinner serves again. Serving to the forehand to Felix. Return the backhand to Sinner. Felix backhand again. The backhand to Sinner. To the backhand to Felix. Sinner wins a point. Felix in the net. 1-1. By the way, the winner of the Gauff Pegula match will take Sabalenka on in the second match. And the loser will take on Palini in a must-win match in a couple of days. 1-1. Back to Sinner. As by the way, Pegula, love 40. No one can hold serve. All right, 2-1 Sinner. All right, first serve is a fault from Felix. Second serve. Serving to the back into Sinner. Forehand to Felix. Into the forehand to Sinner, who shanks it long. 2-0. 2-all. Also, Gauff in the net. All right. 3 breaks in a row to start the match. Not ideal, but at least it's close. 2-2. Sorry, 2-1 in the first set for the ladies. 2-0 in the tiebreak. As the return goes in the forehand to Felix. Felix sprays it wide. 3-2 Sinner. 3-2. Bad miss by Felix. 3-2. 15 unforced errors from Felix. Is that on the forehand side alone? Ugh. That is not great. All right, 3-2 Sinner. Serve at the back of Felix. Return goes to forehand to Sinner. Sinner puts it away. 4-2. They change ends. 4-2. So close. Come on, Jannik. Yeah, he is close. Only 3 points away. 4-2 Sinner. They change ends. 4-2. All right, I think they are going for Felix because they want an extra set. There's a little bit more noise, it sounds like, from for Felix, or at least they're chanting his name. All right, 400 from Sinner In the back of Felix, Sinner with the forehand of the forehand of Felix. Felix is a wide. 5-2 Sinner. 5-2 for Jannik Sinner. There's only 1 minute break though, but Felix has lots of work to do. 5-2. Felix serves. Out wide, and Sinner returned the net. 5-3 Sinner. Five, 3. Another serve for Felix. Out wide of the forehand. Sinner. Forehand for Felix down the line. Sinner with the backhand pass. Ooh, it's in the net. That would have been a crazy way to bring up championship point. Felix a little lucky. All right, 5-4 Sinner. He's serving for the match. 5-4. All right, Sinner to serve. Down the tee, the forehand of Felix. Return goes short. Sinner smokes it and puts it away. Championship points for Jannik Sinner to take his first Paris Masters. And I'm sure it won't be the last. And also, I think he's complete. He's got like 4 out of 9 now, I think, right? I think he's won 4. He's won Miami. He's won Shanghai. He's won Cincy. He's won 5 out of 9. He's more than halfway there to get that golden Masters that has only been achieved by one man twice. All right, 6-4. He serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Felix. Return goes to the forehand of Sinner. Sinner again to the forehand of Felix. Sinner goes down the line. Now Felix the backhand cross court. Sinner's got it. As FAA backhand again. Sinner goes cross court again. The backhand of Felix. Sinner in control. Goes down the line. That's a winner. There it is. Championship for Sinner. And he raises both fists to the air. Jannik Sinner wins Paris. And Felix will have to play next week to qualify for Turin. But he's put himself in a good position. It's Musetti who has to chase him. But Sinner wins. And he wins Paris. Only having to play really one tough set. And that was that last set. It's the only time this week that he's been challenged. And, I mean, if you call that a challenge, I mean, the tiebreak was pretty straightforward. Okay. GG's. Sinner is the champion. In just under 2 hours. All right. By the way, Pegula, she's trying to hold. Nobody has held serve yet in this WTA Finals match. There it is. Sinner gets the win. And he goes to Turin. He goes to Turin as the world number 1, I think. But he doesn't play Turin as the world number 1. I don't know how it works. Chad, it's so weird. We're just going to wait. Got to wait to confirm that tomorrow. We'll wait until the rankings come out and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I think that's the case. He'll be number 1 next week, but he won't be number 1 once we get to Turin because he'll lose points that will mean that he will drop back. So yeah. But anyway, so the world number 1 ranking really comes down to Turin. It'll be really interesting because both Sinner and Alcaraz, obviously, Sinner's got more work to do to keep, just to end the year at number 1. But it'll come down to who does better in Turin. And Sinner's going to have to hope Alcaraz doesn't do well. I think it's Alcaraz. It's Alcaraz's to lose, I think, the world number 1 ranking going into Turin. Pegula hits it out, we'll get the deuce. Yeah, I'm not sure. We talked about this earlier. Apparently, the ATP Finals seedings are based on the race of the finals, not the ATP rankings. So that's why Alcaraz will be number one, I think, in Turin, or at least number one seeded. But again, we'll wait until tomorrow until we get official word on the rankings. But at this stage, it seems like Sinner. Well, at this stage, Sinner is number one. The live rankings show that he's number one. We'll see whether or not the ATP deduct the points from last year's Turin tomorrow, or if they do it next week. That's the only, because that'll make a difference, right? So we'll see. But as of right now, Sinner's number one. He is number one in the world. Again. First there's a fault by Pegula, second serve. It didn't drop a set. And he played some decent players. It wasn't like he played nobody. He played 3 top 10 players as well, Sinner. It was a great run. Shelton, Zverev, and FAA. I mean, that's a good run. You know, they're tough players. Pegula hits it out, and we're back on serve 2-0. You know, it's not like he got an easy... It might be an easy road hindsight, but, you know, he still had to play Zverev. He still had to play Shelton. Cerundolo in the third round was not someone to overlook. So, yeah. And he played all the players... except for maybe Felix in the final. We probably thought it was going to be Alcaraz, right? Or maybe Fritz, you could put him there. But on his side of the draw, he played all the top players. You know, he played Bergs, he played Cerundolo, he played Shelton, he played Zverev. All those players were the hardest players on his, you know, the harder players, the higher ranked players he could have played. So he definitely didn't get an easy draw. He just made it look really easy. Anyways, Gauff double faults. Love 15. Back to where he belongs. There you go. Again, we'll confirm it tomorrow, but as of right now, he's number one.
You have Coco winning today.
Thank you, Ray, for the 2. Yes.
When are Sam Predictim's reactions coming out?
Yeah, that'll be like after the season's over when I have time. But thank you for the donations. Yeah, I picked Coco in 3. But yeah, I'll be doing reactions to my predictions after the season ends. And making new ones. All right. We're going to merge the streams in a second, but let's see if Coco can hold. She hits it in the net, 15:30. If you do want to keep watching this WTA Finals match, here you go. Jump on over. I thought Sinner would be having some flashbacks in Paris from that final against Carlos. What final? That was on clay and outside. Different venue. 15:40. Coco in the net. The draw for Turin comes out next week. As we just serve into the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Gauff to the forehand of Pegula. As Gauff backhand to the backhand of Pegula. As Gauff with the forehand again. The backhand of Pegula. Into the forehand of Gauff. As Pegula backhand cross court. Gauff with the drop shot. Pegula gets it with the drop shot back. Gauff puts up a lob. Pegula with a volley down the line. Winner. Nice. Great volley by Pegula. She breaks again. 5 breaks to start. 3-2. All right. So jump on over if you want to keep watching. But Sinner wins Paris without dropping a set. And he is now back on top of the rankings, at least live rankings. Officially, it'll be tomorrow. We'll wait and see if the ATP play any tricks and deduct points before whatever. But as of now, he is back on top. So celebrate celebrate, Sinner fans. You deserve it. He's had a very strange season, but when he's played, he's won. So, even though he's, like I said, he had 3 months off and he's still got back to the top of the rankings. It's crazy. But he wins, and Felix will have to play next week to try and qualify for Turin, but he's in the best spot because he's ahead of Musetti going into next week, so he'll have to play next week to qualify for Turin. And we might get a rematch between these guys in Turin, because if Felix does qualify, 2 versus 8 or 1 versus 8, whatever it turns out to be, could be a match that we see. So they could play next week as well, a rematch, or in 2 weeks' time. But jump on over. Pegula Gauff still just warming up.